Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kol Holoyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kwadash. We're blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwah that's keeping the faith and the works. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." All right. One of these curses that the Most High would place upon the enemies, right, or our enemies, is, let me go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And verse 16, it says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." Right? NLT reads, or the New Living Translation, it says, "Your towns and your fields will be cursed." Right? KJV says, "Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store." NLT reads, "Your fruit baskets and bread boards will be cursed." Right? Verse 18, it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep." NLT reads, "Your children and your crops will be cursed. The offspring of your herds and flocks will be cursed." And the Most High is tapping into that food, right? The generation of Edom are feeling the effects of these curses. The Most High is placing these curses on the enemies of Yasharallah, which in turn means Yasharallah is coming out of those curses. Only the remnant, though, because that's all it takes. It don't take all of Israel. It only takes a remnant of the Most High's people to come back and do what they're supposed to be doing for the Most High, to then in turn fight for them or fight for us. And that's what he's doing. All right? The Most High said that the curses that are on us will go to them. Let's see another wording of said curses. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Let me see. Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13 says, "And Yahweh said, Even thus shall the children of Yasharallah eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." Right? Like I said, man, the Most High is bamming this place up. And they trying to figure out what's going on. But the answer is in the Word. And the Word is for Yasharallah. The men of the Lord have the understanding. And that's why the men of the Lord are making epistles on a day-to-day basis to give the understanding to the remnant and to also spread the gospel of the kingdom around the world so the end may come. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to let the video play and I'll be back.
UK Prime Minister isn't the only leader dealing with the inflation issue. In Australia, inflation could lead to skyrocketing obesity rates and a rise in chronic health conditions, as well as even more pressure as a result on Australia's hospital system. That is the warning from public health experts if the cost of fruit and vegetables, they say, is not made more affordable.
Like many across the Australian state of Queensland, the Winter family has felt the pocket pinch from rising food costs. Jane Winter tries to cut corners wherever it's possible.
We're going bog standards, home brands, whatever we can, just to try and save some money because it's a bit ridiculous.
Service providers say demand has never been higher.
People tell us that they're no longer able to afford just basic groceries, fruit and veggies. They're unable to send their kids to school with lunches.
6 months ago, around 40 people were using food charity Ipswich Assist to help feed their families. Now more than 100 walk through their doors every week.
It's just becoming more and more common, and when something becomes as common, it becomes an epidemic.
The founder of the second-hand clothing store recently set up a free food bank after seeing that sacrifice personal hygiene purchases just to feed their kids.
I see the mums every day come and tell me their stories, and it is heartbreaking.
Public health experts say the effects go beyond hungry tummies. When food and vegetables are luxuries Australians cannot afford, cheaper options are chosen, which in the long term can have dire effects on people's health.
Within 10 years to 20 years, we see skyrocketing rates of our chronic diseases in Australia, and we've seen that in the past 20 years.
This further strains the health system. Now doctors are calling for government to step in.
The only way that can be addressed is if the government provides a subsidy for fresh fruit and vegetables to make that staple food affordable to be put on everyone's table.
Right. That also sounds like this new economic system that's on the rise that is due to be released in the coming months. Right? CBDC. And attached with that CBDC is a monthly stipend of, you really can't even call it money for real, because you can't, it's not tangible. You can't put your hands on it, but it exists. Right? And with that monthly stipend, you'll be able to buy, pretty much what you want with restrictions. And those restrictions are basically Big Brother. You will be monitored for everything that you receive, right? Which is a sign that the end is here, right? Going back to the Most High putting these curses on the enemies, right? That's a sign that the Most High is fighting on our behalf and getting ready to save his people. Now, if you know the history of Australia, you should know. If you don't, you're finna find out now. Australians basically pulled a Christopher Columbus on their land. And if not completely, but almost totally annihilated the indigenous peoples of those lands, or of that land. Right? And with no retaliation, with no get back, with no payback, with no I'm sorry, no none of that. The same way they've done all around the world. So yes, they got to get that back. It ain't just about the daughter of Babylon. Yes, the daughter of Babylon is the main focus, but this is a global thing. We've been spread all over the world, man. And all over the world, we get treated the same, right? Some places are worse than others. Some places are better than others. But at the end of the day, these individuals are not telling you the truth about who you are when clearly they have that information. Because it's not like we just fell out the sky, dropped on a slave ship, and then went to different places. No, it's information pertaining to who we are, what the plan was, and the whole blueprint of the whole movement. Right? So that means they got to pay, and the Most High is paying them back. So you want to make sure that you're on the right side of this. The only way to do so, first and foremost, the Most High Yahweh Shema Shai got to be dealing with you. He has to give you the spirit to be on the right side. You have to be Yasharallah in order to receive that spirit to be on the right side. And if you are Yasharallah, it's a blessing. Not only to be Yasharallah, but to be able to hear and understand the word that was specifically given to you through your forefathers. All right? And let's see what some of this word is. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." Right? All of this is happening on our behalf for the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because his word is true. Right? His word says these nations got to feel what we felt. That's what we just read in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. They complaining about not being able to go buy some nice food, some good healthy food. Man, we've been dealing with that since we've been over here. Where you think chitlins come? Soul food. Where you think that come from? Us dealing with the worst of the worst and making something out of it. And the Most High is putting that effect on the enemies, man. He's putting that effect on the surrounding nations. All right. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 22 says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." Right? That's the word of the Most High. And we're seeing it. So that means it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Scripture said these plagues will come like a woman in travail, like a woman giving birth. So it's going to get worse. Right? It says in verse 23, "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them." There ain't going to be a pastor, not a president, not a governor, not a senator, not a cop, right? Not a soldier on this planet that's going to be able to comfort you when the Most High unleashes all of the plagues for amendment. Right? The only thing that's going to comfort you will be the word of the Most High and the spirit that resides in that word. And like I said, that's only for the elect of Yasharallah. That's it. Right? Even the elect of the elect. Let's clarify that, because the Most High also says 2/3 of his people got to get put to death. So you being Israel, that don't mean nothing for real, for real. The Most High is not a respecter of persons. You have to be loving the Most High. The Most High says, "I love those that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me." Right? Sifting season, man. It been going on. Right? So if you're hearing this word, you're not quite sure, you're on the fence about things, hey man, stop playing yourself. Go ahead and get with what you need to be getting with, because time running out. Let me finish this verse. It says, "For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down." Right? And we ain't trying to be cast down with it. We trying to receive that salvation. So let me go to the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11, and I'll end with this. It says, "And that knowing the time," because clearly we can see what time it is, right? It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." Wake up, man, and walk in the truth of who you are. So-called black man, so-called Hispanic man, so-called Native American man, and all our brethren around the world, all of so-called Negro descent. Truth of the matter is, you Yasharallah. And the Most High is bamming up the planet on your behalf for the word's sake. All right? So we want to be on the righteous side of that word, not the unrighteous. We want to be on the 1/3 and the 144,000 side, not on the 2/3 side, not on the wicked side, not on the ungodly and the sinner side. Right? So wake up out of sleep, man, and do what you got to do. With that, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Kol Holoyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Harakah Kodash Shalom Yashalom.